Alright guys, what's up? So today, quick video. We're actually going to install a set of Timbren, I'll give you the part number, FR350 SE SDE. Kind of two options on these. You can put a set of Timbrens like this that are like load supporters, or you could put a set of airbags. I've had a set of airbags on just about every truck I've owned, and never really been impressed with ride quality or anything like that. So we're gonna try out these Timbrens, which are, they go in the place of the bump stop. Here, I'll show you. I'll flip the camera around and show you guys. So this is your factory bump stop. Goes right here, right on the other side of this. So what the Timbren does is takes that bump stop out, actually replaces it, and it'll support on the axle. Now, right now I have all the weight off the rear end to lift the rear end and get as much space between the bump stop and the actual axle so I can fit the load supporter in. So what's going to happen when the when there's a load on it, or the vehicle, or the actual vehicle settles back down, instead of all you have is a bump stop, you have this solid rubber load supporter in there, and it just bolts in. There's a bolt in there, and you put a bolt in from the top where this bump stop was. Now, this is kind of an experiment. Don't know how this is going to work on this truck, but I figured I'd give it a chance and see what happens. Now, the only reason I'm going with this route is I had an airbag fail on me one time on the road, and kind of left me in a crappy situation because I needed the airbags at that point. So with something like this, you wouldn't have to actually have an airbag in there. So kind of as a visual, this will sit up in here like this, and as the frame comes down, as it would, compresses the springs, you're going to have what they call a load supporter. An airbag would be in here, and you would add air to desired PSI to raise it back up to reduce squat on the rear end. All right, if you watch while I let the rear end of the truck down, see how the load support comes down and it supports that rear end. Now I just unhooked this trailer and left it at the exact height, so I'm going to back up and see if it actually raised the rear end of the truck up any to support any sag without a load. So I just backed it up and cranked it, and it raised the rear end of the truck, I'd say about 1 inch to 2 inches. Don't mind my tag light bulb missing. I'm repairing that next. So I could already tell with this thing hooked up, it's probably sitting at least 2 inches higher, which I can tell by the way where the jack is and the wheel gap there on the rear. So let's get on the road here and see how it rides today. Alrighty, let's fill this bad girl up. With mud flap, I think we're getting about 460. I think it's 459 a gallon. And let's talk about these Timbrens. Now, I don't know if you can see them from here. Barely. So, initial thought, when I first got on the road, I had this terrible vibration at like 35 miles an hour. I completely stopped, and I got out. It felt like a flat tire. It was like, but I knew what it was. I knew it was something to do with the Timbrens. So I stopped, I got out, just did a quick walk around, made sure everything was tight, and kind of did just a once over. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go down the road, turn around, and I guess I'm gonna have to go back to the house and take them off. So with doing that, I just kept going, and I don't know if it's they just needed to like break in a little bit. They were too stiff. But after I stopped and kept going, I've had no vibrations in the last 70 miles. So I just kept going. And my initial thought on it feels like an airbag. When you hit a bridge joist or bump in the road, it feels exactly like an airbag does. You get a little kick from the rear, like if you're, riding a bull or something, just like your ass end's coming up a little bit. but other than that, it's been doing great. Now this is empty. I'm excited to see what it does when I load it here, and we'll see if it does any better than my initial thoughts. But for the cost of it, about 400 bucks, I can't really complain right now. I'm happy with it so far. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Also, a beautiful day for my blower motor resistor to go out, because look, it only works on level 4. So I'm trying to see if we can get one of those at a local place. If not, I'll just order one from like Rock Auto or something. But we're headed up to Johnstown, Pennsylvania to pick up 2 classic cars for the enclosed. They'll be going down to Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, Georgia on Monday. Today's Friday. So we'll get those loaded up here today and have them ready for the beginning of the week, and really start this enclosed game off with a bang. Alrighty, let's get this thing all opened up, get ready for some cars. Customer's house is right up the corner around here. It's a 32 coupe and a 53 Bel Air. So they're gonna bring them down here so we can load here on the flat. I hear one running. Got it all opened up here. Get our inspections done. See who's gonna drive this thing in the trailer. A couple older folks, so at least this door is easy to get out of, but we'll see. I only say that because, I mean, usually I'm the only one that loads something in my trailer, but this 32 sits so low to the ground that worried about the oil pan, like at the crest of the ramp, but I don't think we'll have a problem. It's just it's low, and last thing I want to do is rip a drain plug out and have a mess on our hands. Well, that sure was fun. We're loaded, but so got the 32 coupe in the front, and drain plug is about that far off the ground, inches off the ground. So said I'm gonna drive. I just need a spotter. That's all I need. Just need a spotter. Yeah, as low as this car is, I don't want to make a mistake. So that car went in without a hitch. Then we get the 53 Bel Air out, and like a Bel Air style car is so long from behind the rear wheel that you have to just make sure you have a steady incline, or the rear will drag, the rear bumper or the exhaust, whatever is the lowest point back there. And I knew that, so again, I need a spotter. Well, there happens to be, it's like a family, and they're the one lady that was there, her uncle, I'm guessing he purchased them. He's a dentist down in Georgia, and so there's 2 guys there, and there's this woman there. Well, the woman, as I'm going up, is like yelling, like, ooh, ah, ah, ooh. And I'm like, as soon as I hear anything, I hit the brakes. Meantime, the whole other time, the guy that was actually like helping me and was a spotter for me, he says I was fine. So it was just like so stressful. And then I had to climb out of the car. So the passenger door I could get open enough to get out. It would clear the fender, and I had a little more room on that side, so I was like, I'll get out that side. And she is like making the noises again. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh. And I'm like, lady, like, you gotta chill. You're driving me absolutely nuts, scaring the crap out of me for absolutely no reason. And I'll show you guys pictures of them, and I'll show you guys video of them. I just did my inspection pictures and everything, but I didn't want to do any recording, and I just kind of wanted to get the stuff loaded, get it strapped, and get out of there. And you can see how much room I have in this trailer. All this extra space up here. I don't have all my lights hung yet. I was experimenting with lights in here, and I don't have the regular lights on at all, but they're there's the Bel Air. I'm just checking straps here after going down the road a little bit. Yes, I know the hood's popped on that, but it's also why it's in an enclosed trailer. Don't have to worry about that. So, final conclusion. We're fully loaded right now. Hardly any squat. Jack, trailer, plenty off the ground. Sitting pretty level. That's the way we're pulled in the driveway here, but hardly any squat. So, as of now, I'm happy with the Timbren. So, I mean, we'll see how long they last or if we have any farther issues, but I'm pretty happy with them so far. Fully loaded, they rode great. It pretty much feels like an airbag system without the maintenance. So we'll see. You know, Monday will be the big test. It's like 600-ish, 660 each way or something like that, like an 11-hour trip each way. So we'll put some miles on them and kind of report back and see how they do. But as of now, for the cost of them, I'm happy. The no maintenance thing really is big to me, because if I were to have this bumper pull trailer fully loaded without airbags and had both cars pulled in straight, or I had like an airbag go out and I essentially didn't have airbags, I would be, you know, front of that trailer would be pretty low, which when the front of the trailer is low, that means the back of the trailer is higher, which makes for a worse loading angle. So just stay tuned and we'll see what happens. But so far, so good.